Hi, welcome to another art log. I'm working on a book illustration with Tempera, another playing card illustration with Tempera as well, and a portrait of Arondir, also with Tempera. I am continuing my Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets book illustrations with chapter 1. Here's the drawing on the mixed media paper. I am painting with egg tempera paints. It's just the beginning of the book, so Harry is at the Dursleys in this part during the summer vacations. He is feeling sad because he hasn't received any news from the wizard world, and he hasn't even received any communications from his friends. I decided to paint when he is sitting on the garden bench, sadly looking at the grass and the bushes. In the story, it's said that Harry is a neglected kid. He always wears the clothes Dudley outgrows. I tried to emphasize the ill-fitting jeans and the big shirt. I went with grey on his shirt since Aunt Petunia would always dye Dudley's old clothes grey for Harry, instead of buying Harry his own clothes. In my mind, I was looking forward to drawing this scene, but I just don't like the result. I find it unsuccessful, like it seems so much better in my head, and now that I'm done with it, it's just a bit boring. And maybe that's the problem, I don't really find it interesting. I tried to play around with vignetting like usual. I like doing the bricks in this way, just hint at the bricks of the house instead of doing them all. But the red was very saturated for me, especially in comparison to the green. And since Harry is just wearing grey, I felt it distracted a lot from the focal point of the piece, because Harry is supposed to be the focus, of course. So in the end, I tried attenuating the saturation by adding some white to the bricks. I think maybe the grass too could have been made better if I had used lighter colors instead of that dark green. I did try to fix it a bit after repainting it, but in the end it's just not an illustration that I really like. But I choose to move on to the next chapter. I just know that maybe I should plan my values better on the next ones. There's just something about this piece that I don't like. Which suit shall we paint next? I already removed the Clover suit since we started it in one of the previous videos, so let's see who do we get this time. Let's grab one card randomly, like this one. Will be the King of Hearts that we paint this time. The suit of hearts for inspiration. I did the drawing in mixed media paper. I also planned this one in my sketchbook, just like the last one. I am using egg tempera. It's just a tempera video this time. Since they are playing cards, I really wanted the suit to be very obvious. I added a lot of hearts on his design. It's an explosion of hearts. I gave him a heart-shaped hairstyle, and even the blush on his face is heart-shaped. I'm trying to make the kings look like older men, since they are kings, not princes. I'll do the same with the queens, of course. I'm really looking forward to starting them too. But I want to finish the kings first, and then move progressively through the playing cards. I used so much red tempera for this one. But I painted the clothing on his torso in black because I wanted the red hearts to stand out. I think the contrast helped achieve this. I tried to keep in mind the points I wanted to improve upon from my previous illustrations. I did try to make the shadows more prominent on this one. And I think it was successful in that way, even though the lighting isn't too strong for this illustration. I tried to spend more time on the details of the clothes too. Maybe I should have come up with a better design for the scepter, or a different one. I was going for a heart-shaped look to it, and maybe it doesn't come across as well as I was expecting. But overall, I had a lot of fun with his design, because it's just so ridiculous. I am using my metallic watercolors from Sennelier again. I think I will add a bit of metallic on all the cards actually. I'm glad I got these watercolors because even the red I can make shiny now. On the inks I only have silver and gold. These watercolors have much more options. And here we have the final. I am very happy with the end result of this one. It's like so many hearts, it's so exaggerated. Here is how the shine looks. I am painting Arondir from The Lord of the Rings of Power TV show. You can see the drawing better like this. I am using egg tempera on mixed media paper. A while ago, I started an illustration set. It was a Lord of the Rings alphabet theme illustration set. I did them on digital and I got all the way up until the letter L. However, lately I've been so much into traditional painting and I really want to become a good artist on traditional media. So I've decided to restart that set using traditional media. Which is why I am painting Arondir, because A is for Arondir. In the final illustration, I plan to have that as text, A is for Arondir, written in the Tolkien font. But I will do that part with digital since it's just adding the font. I am also changing the designs I had done for the digital pieces. I'm basically starting from zero. I don't want to just repaint my digital work on traditional media, you know. I want to redesign and maybe come up with a different pose and things like that. I drew Arondir with his bow and ready to get a new arrow. I think it's a good pose, he's doing something in the piece. The body is slightly hunched over. But in the end I felt like the torso looked a bit off, like he was a bit disjointed from the neck to the torso. So I did a slight change there. I just did some repainting. I think it looks better than the initial sketch. However, much like the Harry Potter illustration at the beginning, It just looked so much better in my head. I am just not convinced by this one either. It's not been a good week for my paintings, I think. Anyway, it's all good practice in the end. Here's the finished piece, and here is how it looks with the text added digitally. Thank you for watching and have a great day.